Hello friends, welcome to the second video of unit testing in Java using JUnit 5. In this second video, we'll be learning how to add few more test cases into our coordinate 2D class with few examples, and how to auto-generate getter and setter methods in IntelliJ, and how to add an inbuilt comparator function to each class in a faster way, and we'll learn few more imports and annotation in JUnit 5. I'm covering step-by-step imports and annotation, not in a one go, because each of the example in annotation and imports is very important, because it is like a memory based and each example should add value to it. Then finally, I'll be covering what is this unit test coverage and how to generate this coverage report in IntelliJ and how to interpret it. This coverage, understanding this coverage report will help us to understand our major goal which was set in the previous video, that is understanding how to write the art of unit testing. So come, let's move on to our example of coordinate 2D which was covered in our previous video, and add few more test cases. So this was our previously added coordinate 2D test. We had added previously two test cases. So come, let's continue adding test cases. So we'll add in one more member function, maybe public, which returns coordinate 2D object itself. So coordinate 2D object, and the function is like an adding the two vectors, that is means this 2D coordinate we can think of adding it as an in coordinate geometry, adding the two vectors. So we can say add vector. So the input is coordinate 2D, maybe we can say other vector. So let's write the definition for this. So once we want to, there is a second vector, we need to add getter and setter methods to access this private values of x and y coordinate. So let's quickly generate those getter and setter method. So what we have to do is just go and generate the getter and setter for both the values. Let's generate for both x and y, and click on OK, and IntelliJ automatically generates the getter and setter value. Let me put this at the top. So there are two vectors, and you'll also need to generate an comparator function to compare the two objects. That also you can do quickly in IntelliJ. You just add generate equals and hash code. You click on this and it says Java utils hash code, so it is generating one more hash code function also, which will delete it. So for both x and y comparator, so let's finish it. So it has basically added an override function for the equals. Maybe this hash code I'll cover later, which is not required now. So now let's add our vector. So there will be an result coordinate which will we have to create of type coordinate 2D to store the result, equals new coordinate, and we'll be using the parameters constructor of initializing it with the 0 and 0. So the result coordinate dot, we have to set the x value, set x value will be the this pointer get x plus the other vector which is given in the function, other vectors get x. Similarly, the result coordinate comma set the y vector using this dot get y coordinate plus the other vector dot get y coordinate. So basically what we are doing here is adding the x1, you can say it in simple term, x1 and x2 is equal to the new resultant x vector, and y2 plus y1 equals to the y resultant vector, and will return the coordinate 2D, will return the result coordinate object, and this function is ready. So now let's move on to the coordinate 2D test by adding the test to this add vector. So again we'll add an annotation test of void testing add vector. So there will be an expected coordinate of type coordinate 2D is equal to new coordinate 2D. Maybe we'll initialize with 0, 0, and there will be one again result coordinate new coordinate of 0, 0, and again we have to create two more vectors for adding those two vectors in the this one. So let me just copy paste those. Maybe say them v1 and v2. Now what we have to do, the result coordinate will be equal to v1 dot add vector v2. So basically let's take an example now here. Maybe we'll say 5 2 and 3 4. So if we add them, what is the expected value? It's of course 8, that is x1 plus x2, that is 8, and 2 plus 4 is equal to 8. 6, sorry. So 6. So this is the result vector which has been result coordinate which has been created. So now how to check whether these two values are equal? So we can check using asset true. So how to use this asset true thing to test whether these things are equal? We have previously generated the equals of the object comparator, so we can use that. We can use v1, no, the expected coordinate dot equals to this object, which is that object, that is the result coordinate. So it basically returns a boolean value whether it is true or false. So you have learnt a new assertion which is asset true, which is of part of this assertion import. So basically now you have learnt asset equals, which equates the two values, and there is asset true, and similarly there is asset false, which expects an false for the test case to be valid. So now we can move on Now we can move on to test this test case whether it is functioning correctly. So let's run the our test case, run the test case 2D. So basically there are now 3 test cases. Yes, and our test add vector has successfully worked. You can see here. Now let's move on to the next topic, that is the unit test coverage. Now let's try to understand what does this unit test coverage and how to generate it. So for this you have to run unit test with coverage. Basically, this coverage means whether you have covered a particular line of code in your Java class. So basically now you can see, you have to see that our Java file, it has covered 100% of the coordinate 2D with all the methods getting executed in one of the, at least the one of the test cases. So basically 8 means 8 times this methods have been called, and 8 of the methods have been called and all of them have been covered. So basically what happens when we don't execute, when we don't cover certain use case. Now this testing, this adding vector, if we don't call this add vector function in coordinate Java, our test coverage will fall below. So how also, let's disable this test cases. So easier way is to use the disabled annotation. So now we have learned one more annotation. Slowly I'll be covering all the annotations which are in JUnit by example. So this, once you add this annotation, this test case won't get executed. So now if we try to run the test coverage, it will show that one of the member function would have not covered. So you can see that this test case was disabled, and now you can see our test coverage has failed. Only some of these things have not got executed. Although the test I have not commented out. So basically that's why the percentage class is 100%. This 66% means one of the test cases has not got executed. So now to see the coverage or the lines which is missed in our this thing, maybe we can try one more thing. So let me minimize this coverage. So basically we can add one more condition here. I will show you just to show you the this thing. If we can add a condition that if the one of the vector is 0, return a 0 saying it is an error condition. This is just an example to be given. It's nothing to do with the principle. Is equal to 0 and this dot get y equals to 0. We'll add a case that this is not a valid value and make the resultant as 0. So this is just an example to show you that some of the coverages can be missed. Means we are not validating this condition, so there will be an problem. So let's even return from here, return result coordinate. Maybe this code requires little cleanup of adding the. So let's now run the coverage. Okay, one more thing, let's remove the disabled thing which disables the test cases. See, now you can see the percentage of the line coverage has fallen to 86%. See, means some of the lines have not got executed and it will show in red color mark. This is the mark. It has not got executed. This if condition has not got executed. That's why the line coverage means the coverage has fell to 86%. Although the complete class is getting, this is the class coverage percentage, there is only one class, we have tested it thoroughly, and there are 8 methods and all the 8 methods are getting entered. So basically, so we are, since why the lane coverage is missing is because of this condition. So if we add this condition, we'll get lane coverage also. So let's add one more similar test case for the getting the 100% line coverage also. So to add the test case, the expected resultant value is 0, 0, and the adding vector, one of the vectors should be 0. So now if we run the coverage, okay, since the name is same, it's giving an error. Let's make it to check 0. So now all the test cases have executed, and now you can see the line coverage is been 100% in the Java file. You can ignore the test file for coverage, because if it is disabled only this comes into the picture. You have to check the Java class for this, whether the class coverage and the method coverage and the line coverage is 100%. So this was the example to show the line coverage and the method coverage. So basically, if you write a code with 100% line coverage, then it's a good unit testing. So it adds to the our value of writing good test cases by following the art of unit testing. So quickly to summarize, we have learned how to add a new test cases of add vector in this example, and write 2 more unit test cases for it. Then we have generated the test coverage report and understand what is class coverage, line coverage, and method coverage. So hopefully this video is adding to our understanding of for final goal of completing the unit test course. So thank you.